Snoopy vomited. He looked down at lumpy chunks of partially digested cat food, gray bile and streaks of blood that soaked the faded orange shag rug. Normally, he would sniff it and nibble at choicer morsels, but today he felt too cold. The house was silent. His owners slept upstairs. Snoopy would have hated them if he knew that he, a tuxedo cat, had the name of a famous dog. A pink and yellow lava lamp shined on a flower-patterned, water-stained wallpaper that hung tattered from the ceiling. He hacked again. No food came now, only bile and blood. Snoopy walked to the kitchen. A faint breeze blew from the basement, warmer than the kitchen air. He went down the stairs and into a crawl space where a heating duct ran from the basement to the upstairs bedrooms. He curled up against the hot pipe and felt more comfortable. He liked this crawl space, his rat hunting place. Purr, he said. No one would bother him here. We named him Fluffy, the carpenter's helper said, holding the corpse with a gloved hand. What will you do with him? I'm not sure, Brian said. What is it, Dad? Davy asked. He held onto Brian's pants by the pleats, his eyes buried in the fabric. A cat mummy, Brian said. Davy remembered the mummy, wrapped in toilet paper, from the old Abbott and Costello movie. He shivered. I reckon it was down there 30, 40 years, the carpenter's helper said. Davy looked at the dead cat. It looked like Two-Face from Batman. It had no fur, no fluff. One side was black leather, rippled and tanned by years of heat. The other side was nothing but dusty bones. On the tan side, the gums shriveled back in a snarl, showing long yellow teeth. It had an eye shrunk like a raisin and a tail that hung limply between its legs. Davy buried his eyes in his father's pants. Fluffy sat frustrated on an attic shelf, unable to chase the rats and squirrels that scurried brazenly across the floor. His only entertainment was a little boy, Davy, who ran past in terror, hands over his eyes, to collect a toy his parents had stowed away. Fluffy lived for these few seconds that came just a few times a year. Years passed. Brian's rat poison stopped the scurrying. Davy grew tall and fat and forgot about toys and fear. Fluffy lived for just one night. Every year, the wind turned cold and leaves turned orange and red. Brian came upstairs as a pirate, a vampire, or ninja turtle. He grabbed Fluffy with gloved hands and carried him to the porch and placed him next to the jack-o'-lantern. Children came one by one with bags of candy. Sometimes there was a young mother dressed in a cat costume, showing too much skin for the weather. Fluffy, Brian, and Davy would look at her in unison. When the children saw Fluffy, they covered their eyes or buried them in their father's pants. Eventually, a child would touch Fluffy and realize that the cat was real. They would scream and run away. That was Fluffy's favorite part. Thank you.